G20 University Connect, engaging young minds lecture series held today at PSG College of Technology. This event was held with the presence of Prakasam, Principal, Ambassador Rahul Chabra, retired IFS and former Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, Vinaya Chandran, Professor of Oceanography, IISc Bengaluru, Pramod, Senior Principal Scientist, Salim Ali Center for Ornithology, Coimbatore, Subramaniam Raju, Professor and Head Center for South Asian Studies, Pondicherry University, Radhika, Assistant Professor, Department of Humanities, and other faculty members and the students of the institution.
Really, I mean, this is, as this brochure says, it's a presidency of hope. Hope, why? I mean, even yesterday I was interacting with PhD students, and it was nice to know and hear. One student asked that, what do you think about World War III coming? So it's pretty, if we are thinking about in that time, so I mean, he's obviously a very sensible student. So many of us are thinking about it. So, I mean, we need to really look at the hope. It will not come, obviously. Harmony, it's all there in that. Peace, stability in the world. So this is this presidency and going on future. I mean, the world is really, we've already seen COVID, what COVID did, the havoc it wreaked on the whole world, what Russia-Ukraine war is doing now, and we don't know what will happen in the future. So what we only know is that the future is going to get much more unpredictable. It's not going to be the same stable future that we've been seeing past, that we've been seeing over the last few decades. So all of you are going to grow up in a world that's really sort of changing very rapidly. So then, what are we trying to do? It's really an opportunity now for India to sort of shape the global agenda about taking forward the next few months while we are still present. Sort of, as I mentioned, this increasing polarization, Russia, China on one side, maybe the West on the other side, India in the middle somewhere, trying to sort of, navigate the world and not lead it to confrontation. And this escalating geopolitical tension is going to only increase. We really don't see it withering away very quickly. So there's a lot of hard work for India as president of G20 going forward. A lot of hard work has already been done. Many of you may be aware in the Bali Declaration, it's been acknowledged openly that India played a very big role in the behind the scenes to get that Bali Declaration out. I don't know how successful we'll emerge. Let's hope. It's always hope that we will have a declaration out at the end of our summit in September. How does it work, the G20? As I said, it's all there in this thing. But working groups and engagement groups. Working groups fall under two tracks. The Sherpa track, which is who reports directly to the Prime Minister, the G20 Sherpa, and the finance track, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman. I think she also comes from Tamil Nadu. Yeah, so there's another connect with there's currently up the finance track. So she heads that. Infrastructure, sustainable finance, taxation, international financial architecture, all that falls on the finance track. And the Sherpa track has agriculture, education, environment, employment, tourism, lots of subjects are there under the Sherpa track. And then we have the engagement groups, which are quite interesting because we are now focusing a lot on women. Women, not as women empowerment only, but women-led development, because we've now reached the stage which we assume, and maybe it's correct, because I'm seeing a lot of women here also. So, I mean, you don't need empowerment. You are going to be the leaders. You are going to lead, like Professor Radhika is leading her team here. So same way you will be all leaders, and you have a great role model here, by the way. Unfortunately, there's nobody on the dais there, but we have Professor Radhika right in the front row. So she's right there up front. So congratulations, Madam. She's been a good source of my information and introduction to PSG. Then, sort of global financial governance. How do you democratize it? Because as of now, the World Bank, IMF and all is completely dominated by the US, the World Bank. As you know, Mr. Ajay Banga, of course, it's nice that a former Indian guy has been nominated as the World Bank president, but basically he's a US chap. And the IMF is a European-dominated organization. So the voting patterns and the voting strengths and structures in those organizations are all what is drawn up, as they say, the Bretton Woods organizations in the 40s and 50s, with very little changes since. So unless we sort of push and get it democratized so that other countries which are coming up like us have a greater vote share, they will keep voting in a sense of only prioritizing those economies which they represent. So these all issues, they may sound esoteric and not so important, but on the ground they all have huge relevance when you actually come down to doing it. So we need to work towards that, and 21st century reality is completely changed. So they need to adapt to that which they haven't done. And the last subject is accelerating sustainable development goals, which I mentioned there. Making the world a better place to live in so that all of us, our futures are sort of more secure, more resilient to the climate change, which we should try and stop it from where it happens. We sort of enhance and diversify the sources of finance coming there. So there's a lot of work to be done in improving the sustainable development goals. Just declaring the goals is just the initial step, which is an important step also, by the way. Even agreeing that this is the goal. Then, how do you implement the goal? You don't just let it sit and then you lose the momentum. So that is where we as G20 president at the moment have a huge role to play, and we are playing it. And we hope that with this sort of interaction, we bring these issues into this sort of fora where you also start thinking about it. Because basically it's G20, it's all nice for people sitting in Delhi to sort of say we will do this or we will do that. But unless people like you here actually understand the issues and start talking about it and working towards it, it's not going to really get us far. So that is why this initiative of reaching out to, and particularly universities and the young minds and this connect with universities and the youth that we are out here. So on that note, I think I'll end and wait for some sort of interaction from the audience. Thank you so much.